had acted unprofessionally. The following slides are some clips of Officer Harris's interactions with Mr. Gillum and his relatives, and viewer discretion is advised in the next few clips due to Mr. Gillum's use of language. So this clip shows PSO Harris attempting to interview one of the individuals involved in this incident, a juvenile, and his mother interjects in their conversation, and PSO Harris responds.
What crime did I do? Is anybody injured? Is anybody injured?
Oh, I guess when you're black and you do something, you're automatic.
Ma'am, go home. Ma'am, go home.
I ain't gotta go home. And my name on this shit too. Yeah, this her. I own both sides.
And the next couple, so this one, minutes later, shows a brief interaction with Mr. Gillum near the front porch of 717 East Vine. And you're going to watch, I'm going to try to fix it here, but the video and audio does get separate.
No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. Tell them who the fuck I want to talk to. Look how many y'all over here.
Yeah. Motherfucker, tell what's going on. Okay.
Get the fuck off the. No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. Tell them who the fuck I want to talk to. Look how many y'all over here.
Yeah. Motherfucker, tell what's going on. Okay.
Get the fuck off the property, man. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Try to figure out what we need to interview.
You ain't interviewing nobody else. It's over. Go in the house. That's it. You ain't interviewing nobody. And I want everybody's name and badge don't be in this
No,
bitch.
you don't need to come down here.
I want everybody's name and ID. What's your name? We're going to start this shit off correct now.
Okay, so it's just you
Go in the house, man. Go in the house. Go in the house. Go in the house. Ain't shit. Are you gonna continue? Fuck you. Ain't shit popping. Nothing. Ain't nothing popping. Get your punk ass off the property. That's the only thing happening in this motherfucker is you getting the fuck on. You get your bitch ass off the property.
Get off my property.
Get the fuck off the property. Close the door, man. Come on, let's go. Let's have step the fuck off this property. Y'all don't understand that? What you investigate? What crime? Oh, that is your misdemeanor. Okay, well get the fuck on, bitch. You don't even know what crime you investigate. Misdemeanor or felony you investigating. You can't come over here creating a crime. If you don't have a crime, get the fuck on.
What's Jones got?
He's working through it as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Probably just as simple as already.
No, you don't need to come down.
Well, let me tell Jones what I got from this juvenile at the top.
All right, so he goes across the street, confers with an officer, or I'm sorry, a supervisor. Officers, at that point, step across the street into a vacant parking lot. So they're finishing their interviews with the other half of this allegation in the parking lot across the street, and then Officer Harris and several others are on scene helping to keep the parties separated to facilitate a conclusion to this.
Giving out illegal orders. Giving out illegal orders. The boy here put his hands on me. I swear to God, I hope you ever put your hands on me again. I swear, go ask the captain down there who put his hands on me. I beat the fuck out of him at McDonald's. Now put your hands on me. Yeah, the captain that do the video and shit, when he put his hands on, beat the fuck out of him, man, beat the case. So put your hands on me again without having authorization to arrest me. I ain't playing none of that fuck shit. Yeah, you done over there. You shouldn't have never been over there, fuck boy. You shouldn't have never been over there. Look at them. They all mad, dude. I done seen you too many times. Don't you say a fucking word. Right, don't say a fucking word. Don't say, you a motherfucking lie. You a motherfucking lie, so don't say a word. Get your fat ass bitch. Get your fat ass bitch. You can't kill no, shut your old ass up. Yeah, yes you is. I don't even know why they brought you around here. He the smartest one, he's staying the fuck in the truck. Shut your fat ass up. You know, go to the gym. Go to the gym, you obese bitch.
You better not mess with her. She'll cover you with her 9mm.
I don't give a fuck. We all got guns, bitch. We all got guns. We all got guns. We all got guns.
You got your
Run up again, talk about who you gonna shoot. You gonna be dead, bitch. Do it again. Do it again.
Run all up in my granddaughter's home.
They ran in the home? They got the banging on the door, banging off on the door. What's he in the car for? What's he in the car for?
I can't explain this to one of my officers.
No, she didn't. No, man, good shit. Turn around now, I'm gonna be on your leg. Turn around on me. Man, I can walk across the street. Get your bitch ass on, you coward motherfucker.
Do not follow my officer.
Man, you ain't. No, you think you real tough, don't you?
Not gonna follow my officer like that.
Man, he ain't your officer. What y'all fuck buddies? Y'all fucking? Gay motherfucker, y'all fucking buddies or something? Your officer, y'all fucking buddies?
You were told to stay on the sidewalk. Back up.
You don't tell me where to stand, bitch. Hey, that's how you gonna get
My family.
With the white?
All mine. This is my daughter. And that is my daughter. And that is my son. This is my grandson. That is my sister. I am not ready to contest. I'm on sorry. He's the one talking. You talking
well, we
tough
gonna
you got a whole
your fat ass.
and a black police officer in the crowd.
You gonna get license plate and all that.
This is all for one.
That got a license plate over there. That OPHG 29. Yeah. Hey. That fat bitch right here.
Back up before I put you in handcuffs.
Shut your
Back up.
bitch ass up. What's happening there, man? What's happening? You keep threatening me with your bitch ass.
They're not leaving. They're refusing.
Man, don't nobody give a fuck about that shit. Fuck that shit. Fuck him. Fuck your mama. Fuck his daddy. Fuck all y'all. That's the bottom line of it. Fuck that kid. Fuck that kid. Fat ass bitch.
This is,
They say nowhere like it. Not in these two houses, but they said one of their families right here.
Okay, we'll get him on it. What that got to do with them?
This is a vacant lot, so why don't you go way to home?
No, why you? I'm not even talking. What? What, boy?
Oh, you live on Stockbridge. This ain't your home. Why don't you wait at your mama's house now?
I can wait where I want.
This is a vacant lot.
Why don't you go wait at your boyfriend's house? Oh, okay. Hey, they work their hands.
You got a lot of nothing to say, don't you?
Roll your eyes like a little Roll your eyes like a little football down to the ground because you've been exposed, huh?
Keep spouting out your lifestyle.
Stop being your man at home, man. Stop being your boyfriend at home. Hey, fat girl. Hey, fat girl. Look at her. Dude, you're not tough. If I ever run into you again, you put your hands on me, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna drag your bitch ass. I'm gonna drag you. And I'm gonna beat the case.
You full of words, ain't you?
Yeah, well, all you got to do is put your hands on somebody then. Put your hands on somebody. Yeah, I see you. Let me get that license plate. Now.
Oh, man. Oh, got that public information. You tough. Man, you good.
Woo! I don't know that name. Yeah, woo! That's all hook talk.
so moments after that last clip, the officer enters his cruiser and leaves the scene, kind of withdrawing himself from the interaction there as things are tidying up with the investigation. So on the issue of unprofessionalism, so during that investigation, Mr. Gillum subjected these officers to nearly 20 minutes of confrontational behavior and insults. These are just small clips of what occurred there. Officers maintained their composure while attempting to investigate or protect those who were investigating while dealing with this unnecessary interference. Dealing with the sort of behavior exhibited by Mr. Gillum, while part of the everyday work of an officer, absolutely, can be difficult as officers to experience as any traumatic incident. Negative health impacts such as anger, frustration, and burnout, and that happens acutely and chronically. As Sergeant Noble wrote in his report, officers are human, cannot be expected to be robotic in the face of constant in-your-face insults, screaming and insults. And I might say that PSO Harris's engagement with Mr. Gillum is not ideal, does not rise to the level of policy violation, taking into account the entirety of the situation and the other behavior that the officer encountered with poise and professionalism. Essentially, that a few unnecessary lines toward Mr. Gillum in the eyes of the Office of Professional Standards were mitigated by his overall behavior during the interaction. And so on balance, we must take the entirety of the situation into account when judging whether the officer's actions, that's PSO Harris, the person whose body camera you were watching, rose to the level of a policy violation. And it was found that alleged act did not occur. So that's the conclusion of my case for the Vine Street incident. Are there any questions from the board?
I have a question. I'm
Ms. Rash.
confused with Officer Brink, and you stated on page 12 that he immediately began walking the Howards off the property, yet there's also a statement a couple of sentences before that that says Officer Radanovic puts himself in between the two because it was escalating. So you can't do both of those things at the same time.
So there were several members of the other party, so they weren't just up there at the door. So when PSO Radanovic walks up, he's got the two coming off the porch. Officer Brink then is standing behind him at the edge of the yard, and he's moving that other party off the yard to the sidewalk.
So the young man that was yelling that we didn't shoot them, he was obviously talking to the mothers that were, the Howards that were coming off the porch.
Yes.
So again, what was the officer doing to break up the Howards and the young man that was talking? I'm sorry, Miss Gillum that was talking
Okay.
at that point.
So the initial, when they arrive on scene, the first thing they have to do is establish some sort of order. It's every scene you walk into, it's a first priority when we got something like this happening. So they are trying to create that separation first off and trying to stop any further confrontation, especially a physical one. And PSO Brink is there at the sidewalk, moving people away, and the other two that had come off the porch, he's motioning back toward the sidewalk, off of the lawn, and then PSO Radanovic essentially using himself as to stop the progression of the other half from moving toward them. So the whole goal here with those two officers is to stop an escalation of whatever conflict is happening there.
Yeah, my commentary is strictly commentary.
Certainly.
The young lady that got in a tussle with the police officers, that's one side of this. The people banging on the door is what initiated this. Mr. Gillum did what he did once he went across the street and recorded, didn't see his recording, but recorded that whole thing. I don't know why we needed to see that. Because it doesn't, it's connected to, but it doesn't really play into the reason that all this was caused. Were the squirt guns or the BB guns, whatever the hell they were they ever found?
I'm not aware.
Okay, so we don't know that. So we don't know who fired them.
Who fired them?
Yeah,
Correct.
right? So to me, this is just a great big cluster, and there's nothing resolved except problems with the community. The police officers did an adequate job in keeping the two parties separated across the street. I understand that. I'm really curious about the young lady who had the tussle with the police officers, and I think you substantiated what her father said. Charges against her were dropped. So I'm really curious about why we're doing this.
Okay. So the videos that were shown were part of the unprofessionalism allegation against PSO Harris. The two, they were, as in this July complaint of 24, there were two allegations that were there. And those are the ones I'm presenting on today.
For the video that Mr. Gillum showed, there is who was the officer that was first getting out of the car for that situation? Was that PSO Harris?
I'm sorry, the officer who first arrived on scene?
Correct.
That was PSO Radanovic.
Okay. So when he first got out of the car, he said, "You're going to be arrested." Who was he referring that to? Was that
When he first got out of the car?
Correct.
My belief is it was likely the Howard, since he was far back enough from the house, that those were the individuals who were right in front of him.
I guess, maybe it's not necessarily in line with what we're discussing now, but what would cause him to say that?
I'd have to go back and listen to it. My guess is that there were essentially, if they didn't get off the property, they're going to be arrested. It's the first thing that he encountered when he exits his vehicle, is the problem in front of him, which is people on someone else's property who are not supposed to be.
Thank you.
Inspector Mason.
Sir.
First of all, my own personal comment, having gone on ride-alongs and actually been at a scene where I was also cussed out with the officers. I want to commend them for, if it was 25 minutes and being berated, standing there and not letting it escalate. To me, that shows the proper fortitude in not allowing something to escalate. So I do want to commend them for that, because I've been in a situation where I was also cussed out, my jaws got tight. So to be able to do that, hats off to them. But on the flip side, all the officers on the scene had on body camera, correct?
Yes.
They were all activated?
They were all, to my knowledge, they're all activated. Yeah.
Do you have any angles that show clearly where the young lady arrested struck the officer?
No, because PSO Radenovic was the only one who was facing that direction. And there were only 2 officers on scene at the time. PSO Brink was facing the other way.
Okay, so based on your investigation, the accusation at this point of her striking an officer, that's unfounded?
That wasn't part of this complaint.
No, I'm just for my own. Oh, I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
So the charges were dropped?
Yes, she was initially charged, and then 2 months later, I believe the charges were dropped.
Okay, so.
And the prosecutor's office, and I've talked about this before, that the prosecutor's office makes independent decisions. You know, we are the enforcement arm of the government. We have probable cause, which is not certainty by any means, but we act on probable cause to take people into custody for crimes. It's the prosecutor's office to determine whether those cases are substantial enough to take to court.
And at that time, the officers had probable cause for her striking an officer?
Correct. And remember that the R&O statute is resisting, obstructing, hindering, interfering. It's essentially a statute that protects officers while they are on scene investigating something that is part of their jobs. You know, they didn't just show up because they were out for a stroll. They were called there. They'll be called on tonight to 15, 20 scenes, and the R&O clause is to protect them out there from being victimized and being able to carry out their duties without hindrance.
And part of the reason why they were called there is a 911 call was made where someone definitely used some language that seemed inappropriate to me, but she also made threats on the call and made threats on the scene. Mm-hmm. Was any probable cause substantiated to have her arrested?
No, not that day. And remember that the first thing the officers have to do when they get there is they'll come into a scene with conflicting information. They get there, there's so much screaming, and the first thing that needs to be done is the situation needs to be calmed down and parties need to be separated so that interviews can occur and anything else that comes with a criminal investigation. And so that's the majority of what we saw today was the initial moments on scene.
Help me in the distinguishing where you indicated that PSO Harris's actions were not ideal. Mm-hmm. And how is that different from not unprofessional?
Sure. I think that I tried to stress that kind of in that conclusion slide prior to the third to the last one here about we look at that on balance, right? He has at the very end a back and forth with Mr. Gillum that was not necessary. But I have to take into account that we have a long interaction on scene where they maintain professionalism. Are we going to nail the officer with a policy violation because they have a break in the face of that, a few lines here or there? And I think that's the distinction between them.
Thank you.
Yes.
Could you tell me how long were the Howards banging on the door before the police arrived?
Officer Radenovic was only at Lake and Dewey, Lake and Race, which is a few blocks away. So it couldn't have been more than I don't know the different, the time frame between when that 911 call ended, but he clearly goes to Little Caesars first and then Divine Street. So my guess is probably less than 30 seconds. And I could be wrong. That's just a guess.
And the Howards, the Gillums didn't come out of the house until the police
That's correct, yep.
got there? Mm-hmm. And at that point, that's when they asked the Howards to step back?
No, they asked them to step back the moment they got there.
And so they stepped back, and that's when the young lady came out of the house,
Yes.
right? But she was in the house the entire time. They were knocking on the door.
I can only see what the body camera sees.
Okay, that's what we see,
Yeah.
right? And that's when she came out the house. And within, what, 5-6 seconds, she was arrested. Okay.
Any other questions? If not, thank you very much.
Thank you all.
At this time, we move forward with closing the hearing, and the board will convene in a closed session to deliberate. I want to thank both Mr. Gillum and Inspector Mason for their presentations, and for those in the audience for their attendance. Thank you, and as stated earlier, this will be deliberated, and we'll put forward our recommendation to the city manager. Thank you.